Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Today we'll talk about the different cell phone options that you have when traveling to Saudi Arabia. Alhamdulillah, you have made intention to go for Hajj or Umrah, and this is a great blessed journey. One critical thing to plan for when traveling is how you're going to plan to stay connected with your family members while you're away. This is extremely important because often people can get lost. So it is important that each family member is able to connect and talk to the other person, have some kind of mechanism to connect if they get separated, and also let people back home know who might be anxious about your whereabouts. So let's explore the different options that you have while you're traveling. One option is to use international roaming with your existing carrier. Whatever cell phone provider that you use today, you can check with them what options do they have for international roaming, and is Saudi Arabia included in them. T-Mobile, for example, you have to get their paid version of it. Again, check what is included. Uh, it is something similar. AT&T has a international day pass. Verizon has a day passes. Most providers will have some kind of roaming options. Usually, having a roaming option uh, is the more convenient one. You don't have to worry about getting a new number. You already have it with you. Everything is set up, ready to go. But it is more expensive. It tends, so like I said, if you are there for 2 weeks, if you get a day pass for $10 to $12 a day, it can go more than $150 for your travel. But again, most flexibility, most convenience when you're using your own service provider. You might be able to get better options if they have some kind of monthly option offers as well. Either ways, in each of these options, calling local numbers is something you want to consider as well, because if you have international roaming, it will cover calls back to your home country, but typically calls in Saudi Arabia destination are considered an international call, and you'll get charged for it. If you don't have an international plan and you just use roaming, they charge you by the minute or and by every call that you make, which can get really expensive really fast. So make sure you either turn off your roaming while if you are using your own phone, and if you don't want to use it. Second option is to get a local SIM when you get to Saudi Arabia. For this, you will need an unlocked phone. Make sure your current phone is not locked to your current service provider, in which case you wouldn't be able to put in a different service provider's phone. But if the local SIM providers are Zen, Mobily, STC. Zen tends to be cheaper. STC tends to have better coverage. But if you are staying in the city, for the most part, it doesn't really matter as much. If you are able to do that, that's usually the cheaper option. You can get you can get a physical SIM either at the airport or at the hotel in Makkah or Medina. Usually, the near the hotel in the city is cheaper than the airport. Uh, and you can get decent plans depending on how much data you need. It could be run to about 50 to 100 reals, and you can have decent data coverage. The downside is you get a new number and you have to let people know to you that this is the number you're planning to use, but it tends to be typically cheaper, and you won't have it right away. When you land, the first thing you want to do is probably let people know. So you might need to connect to the airport's Wi-Fi to let people know that you have arrived. But you will it will take a little bit of while to get connected and get set up. But it does, like I said, it does tend to be the cheaper option. Do get good amount of data either ways, because you will need that for location sharing. You will need that to access maps. It is extremely important to have access, and then mostly service providers will be sharing it through social media groups. So you want to have access to cell phone coverage. Preferably, every member in the family should have some kind of data option. The third option is to use an eSIM. Again, depending on if you have a newer phone and your phone supports it and is unlocked. This is a really convenient option. Typically, eSIMs tend to be data only plans. For example, I use IRLO, and they had a pretty good options. For the eSIM, you make sure that you can purchase the eSIM ahead of time, and it will activate when you land in. There are different plans that you can get. There are certain plans that work across multiple countries as well. So I last time I traveled, I used IRLO, and I used a plan. I used one of their plans to get data, and that worked out really well. Like I said, uh, but yeah, the eSIM option works really well. You download and set it up. The fourth option for data is using the hotel's Wi-Fi. They have Each hotel usually has Wi-Fi, but again, they are pretty slow. You can do some basic browsing on hotel Wi-Fi, but it doesn't work that great for using for cell phone for video calls, things like that. So the speed is usually a problem, as well as mobility, because once you're outside the hotel, then you wouldn't have access to that Wi-Fi as well. To summarize, which option will be best for you? If cost is not a concern and convenience is more important, get an international roaming plan that works best. You will have better experience trying to use voice services as well. Typically, WhatsApp is blocked when in Saudi Arabia, so this will help with that as well. I have had better options where my WhatsApp calls have also gone through when I'm using international roaming. If you're looking for cost effectiveness, then purchasing a local SIM is best. Like I said, make sure your phone, you have a cell phone that is unlocked for you to use. It's just that you won't have it set up right away. You will need to do that when you land. So that's one. And then second is you will get a new number. Supplement, you can supplement each of these options with if you're looking at kind of a best of both worlds. eSIM works pretty well. eSIM lets you get set up ahead of time. They have decent competitive rates, but again, like I said, callings are not included. You can, each of these can be supplemented. It doesn't have to be one of the other. So you could, for example, the first day use, let's say, an international pass, but then get a local option. You can do a mix and match of them, but make sure to stay connected. Make sure every single family member has some kind of data coverage so that you can reach out to them. People get lost, and if you don't have a way to contact them, it can be really hard to find. So you make sure that you anticipate that, and download the maps as well. So hopefully this was helpful. Inshallah, we will I'll share another video where I will share how step by step how I use IRLO to get the eSIM. And yeah, like I said, make sure you have a good plan to stay connected. Hopefully this was helpful. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.